Okay, number 6 from the Larsen 8.9, and again, these are just some solutions that I worked out, and I hope they help. So we started with this series, or this function, 3 over 4 minus x, and again, we want to find a power series for the function centered at, in this case, c is negative 2, so we want it to be centered at negative 2, so we're going to want it to be in the form x minus negative 2 or x plus 2. So I've got a negative sign in front of the x. I know I'm going to factor out that change anything I put over here. So I need a negative 2 here. So when I factor out the negative sign, it's going to end up with x plus 2. But I just can't put a negative 2. I also have to add 2. So in essence, I'm just really adding 0 to the denominator. Once I do that, 4 plus 2 is 6. And then if I factor out this negative sign, I got negative x plus 2. And that's what I want because I want my center to be negative 2. It's always x minus c, so x minus negative 2 is x plus 2. Then again, we want this to be in this form a over 1 minus r. Okay. So this is the form we want. So we need to have a 1 here, or here I should say. So we need to divide by 6. I divide everything by 6. 3 over 6, 6 over 6, and x plus 2 over 6. And now I have this in the nice form I want. 3 over 6 is 1/2, and that's my a. And this is minus r. So my r is going to be x plus 2 over 6. Now we want to find the interval of convergence. So remember, the absolute value of r will be less than 1, so that means r is going to be between negative 1 and positive 1. Then that's my r, so I just multiply by 6, and then I subtract 2, and I get my interval of convergence. Divide each term by 6, or each part of the inequality by 6, and then subtract 2 from each part of the inequality, and this is what we get. So there's our interval of convergence. Now I can write this in this form. It's a summation form. If we multiplied it out, added it out, term by term, this is what we would have for our power series. So this is going to be my a, which is 1/2, and this is my r to the n. And then we can raise both to the n power. We can raise the top to the n and the bottom to the n, 6 to the n, and just multiply by the 2, and that's a nice form. So there's number 6, and I think we can fit in number 7. And number 7, our center was 0, so that's nice. We just need to have an x over here, so all we have to do is to get this in a nice form of our series over here, we could just reverse these and put negative 1, 2x, and we've already got our x, and that's x minus 0 is just x, so we're okay there. But we need to have a positive 1 here, so I'll divide the top of everything by negative. So it's going to be negative 3, negative 1 over negative 1 is positive 1, and divide this, and that becomes a negative. And that works out pretty good. So we can see that this is going to be, my a will be negative 3, and my r will be, well, this is always just 1 minus r, so 1 minus 2x, so 2x will be r. So once we've identified those, we can put this in the summation form. N equals 0 to infinity, negative 3, that's my a, times r to the n. We can take the constant out, negative 3, and then we can raise each of these to n, x to the n. So sometimes we see it like this, sometimes we see it like that. That depends on the situation. And then remember, we would take our r, which is 2x, and we want the absolute value to be less than 1, or 2x will be between negative 1 and 1. Divide everything by 2, and there's your interval convergence. Okay, so take a look at that. That should make sense. Again, if there are any questions, just ask me in class.